Hello, welcome back to my YouTube series. This is the second installment of Asperger Insights. I'm Aaron Likens, Autism Ambassador for Easter Seals Midwest, also author of the book Finding Kansas. And last week, I talked about the fifth most important statement of the autism spectrum, in my opinion, you need to know, and that was that we on the autism spectrum can live life unfiltered. Now this week, we take a look at the fourth most important statement of the autism spectrum, in my opinion, you need to know. And this is something that a lot of parents and a lot of people on the spectrum are very much aware of. And that is that we can operate under the code of whatever happens first always has to happen. Not every person on the autism spectrum is going to share this, and some of us on the autism spectrum can have a photographic memory. Myself, I have a videographic memory. Sounds really awesome, except when people like my dad question my memory, even though I'm going, no dad, trust me, I'm watching it right now, and he still doesn't believe me. Maybe someday he'll just accept that I'm always right. Sorry, Dad. Anyway, I and a lot of us on the autism spectrum are very routine-centric. And the way I describe that, and I wasn't really aware of this till I wrote the chapter Film Theory in my book Finding Kansas, but anyway, imagine the mind on the autism spectrum having a camera, and anytime there is a new event, a new situation, a new person, a new anything, imagine the mind on the autism spectrum taking a camera and sort of taking a snapshot. Now, that film, that snapshot that's on the camera now, is there forever, which is why whatever happens first always has to happen. Now, the reason why this is so important, if I know everything that's going to happen in advance, if I know what I have to say and every way you are going to react, it's like knowing the film. It's like knowing what's going to happen, and we're taking the processing element of life and just tossing it aside. And the reason why that is important is processing for us on the autism spectrum can take a little bit longer. Therefore, if I know everything in advance, if I know the film to go by, I don't have to worry. I don't have to have the anxiety of processing. This concept, unfortunately for me, played out in school. Anytime we would play a game of some sort, or at recess, if I played a game with a couple students, well, the next day I'd expect us to play with the same people the same way every single time. It wasn't that I just expected sameness, I demanded it, because whatever happens first always has to happen, and I had no idea other people didn't have the same film as I did. Besides school, this also played out in a major event when I was 12. This story is given at every presentation I give, but when I was 12, the AMA Supercross series came to St. Louis for the first time. That's the indoor motorcycle racing series on dirt where they jump if you're unfamiliar with it, but they came to St. Louis for the first time in 1995, and over the course of the evening, I got hungry. So my dad took me to the concession stand where hot dogs and sodas, well, I don't understand the economics, but they were expensive. And my dad said no. What he did say, though, was that we would eat at a diner on the way home. And we did. So now it's a year later, 1996, and the AMA Supercross Series comes to St. Louis once again. Now, I know it's going to happen. I have this film to go by from 1995, and I know it's going to happen. I know I'm going to get hungry. I know I'm going to ask for food. I know he's going to see the prices at the concession stand and say no. But after he says no, he's going to say we are going to eat at that diner. Well, a major thing happened, and unfortunately, and I have never been a fan of To Be Continued, but what happens next is sort of what is the third most important statement of the autism spectrum. So you will get the rest of the story next week. Until then, I thank you once again for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe to my channel or follow me on Facebook. It would mean a lot. So once again, thank you.